That image was taken in the Longhai Mountains. It was taken after 8th Battalion had a very fierce contact 3 days before. They had a lot of casualties and they were ordered to withdraw and wait for a B-52 bomb strike. So I've gone in after the B-52 bomb strike, and that's at the base of the mountain before I sweep through the dense forest at the bottom. There were dead bodies probably from the first contact, so they'd been in the tropics for 3 days, and that was my first time. I'd only been in country, I think, 3 weeks, and that's the first time I'd lived with the smell of death. It was quite terrible. I stayed, I think, 3 nights in that area, but they advanced through the bush there, and I took still and cine of that shot. The photos taken at the top of the Longhai Hills, which I think was the first time friendly forces had been there for many years. That's after a B-52 bomb strike, which is why the trees are very damaged. There was also rounds coming from the ocean and air, so it's granite mountain, so the caves are still intact. But you'll notice that all the soldiers are wearing flak jackets and helmets. That's the first time I ever experienced that. We weren't offered the chance to wear flak jackets, but I only think about that today because to get the best angle on a photo, we were hopping over rocks and everywhere, and you don't think about it at the time, but I really wonder how close I went to mines or booby traps. It was very dangerous in the Longhai Hills. There were many APCs, tanks and diggers wounded and killed by hidden mines and booby traps. There were a lot of bunkers, a lot of caves, and there were a lot of weapons retrieved out of the caves. That's one of the SAS photos taken just out of the perimeter of the base. It's at Nui Dat. So they were chopped in, and then there's quite a number of photos taken in that series of them patrolling near the base. That was taken on a 2¼ square Rolleiflex. The images of the SAS patrol, or for SAS soldiers returning from a patrol. On the left-hand side, that's Sergeant Chris Bellis, another photographer that I served with in Vietnam. It's 7th Battalion, and we set up an ambush that night around the well, and then the next morning, I've taken that from the bottom of the well, and it would have been nice to have a wide-angle lens in those days, but anyway, it shows that I'm in a well. That's a piece of bamboo going down that they use as a ladder. They cut the branches off as little rungs, but 7RA had been in a serious contact the day before, and they'd captured a bunker system and the well, so the well was destroyed after I took the photo. I did get into some tunnels, but they were only small tunnels. Near Long Tan, that was a different sort of assignment. I was sent up north to photograph the Northern Fire Support bases from Da Nang to the DMZ for a General's Conference in Canberra, and they were all slides, which was unusual. But I came back through Da Nang, and I wanted to go out with a training team if I could. So that's taken out of Pleiku on the Cambodian border. On the left is Captain Peter Schulston, who won a military cross with that's the 1st Battalion, 2nd Mobile Strike Force, and we've surrounded that village at night. There was 1 Australian advisor and 6 American, and we've moved into the village at first light. It was very primitive. The men were in loincloths, the women were topless, and the huts made of straw. There was a contact on the edge of the village where there were 3 Viet Cong, 2 wounded, but they got away. But it was searched, and there was quite a few things found there. The Montagnards had weapons. I spent 2 days in a dust-off chopper on the dust-off pad at Nui Dat, and I went out when there was a call. And this one here, it's a Vietnamese soldier, 1 of 6 that were wounded, 2 died after an explosion. The other one I went out on that day was to pick up a woman off Longson Island that had had a miscarriage, and she was flown to the hospital in Berea. I was stationed in Saigon at the time, and I was just back from a week down the Delta, and I was flown to Nui Dat to take 5 days of photographing civil affairs. That might be putting a windmill in a village or dispensary on the island of Longson. And out near one of the villages, David Brown took that photo of me holding a Vietnamese child up, showing them it's a sound on film camera, the Oricon. The camera wasn't used that much in Vietnam because it was so heavy and big. It was mostly used to film the Christmas messages around December. I've taken a lot of photos of children there. I felt so sorry for them because I got to so many orphanages, but they were a ton of fun. They'd give cheek and pull faces, and they were great to photograph.